welcome to On the Move with Nan and Cam. Happy Thursday. We're super excited to be talking to you all today. And we've got two new guests that we can't wait to introduce you to and have you learn more about. They're two of our favorite people on staff. We have Dion Ellis. Yeah, wave. And he is our graphic designer. And we have Alison Hale, who is our retail manager. And they are just the best. They are the duo behind not only a lot of our sports backers merchandise, but all of your sweet finisher swag that you love so much. That medal, that hat, that shirt, that blanket. These two did it. If you guys would just tell us a little bit more about yourselves and your history at Sports Backers so that everybody knows kind of what's up with you.
I'm going first. I assumed I would go first. I'm Alison. I have been with Sports Backers for 6 years, a little over 6 years. I have a background in retail. I was at, any store at the mall you can think of, PacSun, Bath and Body Works, The Body Shop. Really honed my craft at Urban Outfitters and Anthropologie. I was there for 11 years and was kind of into running as well, a little bit. And then circumstances took me away from Anthropologie, and I saw a job opening at Sports Backers, and I was for a retail manager, and I was like, well, that's what I do.
That's me.
So I applied, and I guess I can share my fun story about how my U.S. history teacher actually worked at Sports Backers, Jeff Fitch, and I reached out to him. He didn't work at Sports Backers anymore, but he put in a good word for me with apparently everybody here. And
he didn't lead us astray.
A little nepotism, I guess, a faux Hopewell nepotism. And I got the job. And it didn't hurt that the two people who'd had my job before me were also named Alison. So they didn't have to change my email address, any of that stuff. So, like man, you know that?
No, I knew that, but I didn't.
So like Nan alluded to, I handle, I work with Dion on the designs. He does the designing. I bring him some ideas from time to time and we work together on that. But I also, a big part of my job is shipping. So during the pandemic, I took a turn and mailed out a lot of stuff and it just sort of stuck. So now if you receive a package from Sports Backers, it's probably been mailed by me. It probably has my name on it. I've probably touched it. I've probably touched any piece of merchandise that you purchase.
And a side question, this is going to happen a lot, this podcast, I feel like, because the four of us know each other so well. So I feel like it's just going to be the podcast of the follow-up question. Right. But I was just thinking about, as you were going through your history, do you have some sad, complicated feelings about the death of malls? I was raised very much on the indoor mall scene. I was at that mall with my mother probably 3 days a week minimum.
Yeah.
We loved a mall. So I just but malls are dying.
Right. I mean, I started my illustrious career at South Park Mall in Colonial Heights at the Regal South Park 6, which Cameron doesn't even know existed because now it's like a 15-plex or something crazy. It used to be just a little baby 6-plex where I started. That was my first job. I did, the movie Mallrats has a really strong place in my heart. Like the mall culture of the late 80s and 90s, and I guess early aughts is, definitely near and dear to my heart. But they're also kind of gross places.
They are.
So I think COVID might have taken away some of the nostalgia of you think about all the germs that just live in this building. But, we at Chesterfield Town Center, when I worked at PacSun, we did a store remodel. So we had to move all of our stuff to a temporary location.
Oh, man.
And then they remodeled our location and we had to move everything back. So we were in the mall all night. We were overnight in the mall, 3 o'clock in the morning, running through the mall with rounders and just it was a time. I was in my early 20s. It was good times.
Just, there's no substitution when you want a soft pretzel and walk around.
And when you work there, you get to know everybody. So when I was at the movie theater, we'd be trading popcorn and tickets for some Sbarro, get some pizza. Chick-fil-A people always hooked us up. Yeah. It was good times. 17-year-old Alison really enjoyed that food cart.
Yeah, that's sad.
I did hate the arcade, guys.
Understandable.
Yeah.
The past.
That stayed the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that mall aside. Dion, please feel free to introduce yourself now.
I should have went first. Much shorter, but I'm Dion Ellis. I've been at Sports Backers for 2 years. I have a background in fine arts, graduated from Old Dominion University. Then the pandemic hit. So no jobs were calling back.
Nothing
But
was
sports
happening.
backers, sports backers eventually took a risk, I guess, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's real short.
Great risk.
Yeah.
Best risk.
Yeah, right. An awesome risk to take.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't have a long backstory like that.
How many years have you been here now?
20
Two.
years older.
Two. Okay. Yeah. Dion and Cameron are the two. Well, no, that's a lie. Never mind, Emily. I was going to say you're the two newest people on staff, but you're not anymore. Cameron is. Are you the newest? Still?
I think
Okay.
well, full
Yeah.
time. 'Cause we have,
February.
Yeah, full time
We have
newest
Ashley
person.
now.
That's right, Ashley.
I
now.
know. It's coming
Yeah.
up.
Flies by.
It does. It doesn't feel like you've been here 2 years, but also at the same time, it feels like you've been here longer.
it's because of the events. Like the
Yeah.
events really like
Just
there's always like a
straight-
beacon
yeah.
that you're like working toward, and then they just go, and then you just keep on
Yeah.
plugging away.
If there's never
Right,
You
like-
got
there's
one
never an
more,
end going
one
to
more before you have a full year.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why I was
Yeah.
like, when I started was the perfect time because it was
Oh,
in
yeah.
February, right before every event,
Mhm.
so I got to see literally everything. And
Yeah.
I love that.
It is good, and I remember when Kristen started. She started right before everything shut down, so she had a full year of. She had no idea what.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that
She had
is-
no idea what our normal event calendar looked like, and the pandemic and like all the mailing was a whole different challenge. And I mean, it was definitely not easy, but
No.
working a regular event calendar is exhausting.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
more
The best, but
more
it's fun.
rewarding.
So
Yeah.
so
Imagine,
much
like
more
when we didn't
rewarding.
have events, everybody here was like, "What do we do with ourselves?" So
Yeah.
I definitely think that's when you get to see all of the fruits of everything that you've worked on and seeing those happy participants.
Totally.
Like
Mm.
Right.
no trade off. Yeah. But weird time.
Weird time. I'll stop bringing up the pandemic.
You're good.
R.I.P. We
You
don't
can bring up
wanna think about that
anything you
anymore.
want. So yeah, we're just going to jump right in. But like we said, you guys kind of in tandem work together to come up with all of those great merch collections, all of those great finisher items that our participants know and love, and arguably it gets a lot of our participants to sign up.
Right.
People love that swag.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short. They're
Yeah.
signing
There's
up.
people running for just the medal. That's a thing.
And if that's you, no shame. Yeah.
No, right. That's fine.
No, I love them. I'm trying. For those of you who run just for medals, just know that I try so hard to get the biggest. I want the biggest medal. I want the most surface area. I want glitter. I want.
Ooh.
I try to get glitter on literally
I love
every
that.
medal.
Wow.
They only let me do it on like tacky light run. I'm like River Rock people can handle a little bit of glitter.
Yeah.
It's okay.
If I
Everybody
if I
likes
ran a
that.
race, it would have to be a cute medal. If there wasn't a medal like that I
Yeah.
wanted at the end, pick
I
something else.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Seriously.
I definitely push people in here to do I don't want to call it tacky because we do have our tacky medal
Yes.
that we love, but I really want to push the envelope with like just fun, different, because
Right.
people really do respond to
They do.
medals.
Yeah.
We're jaded here.
We are. I was going to say, I feel like I was thinking about this when I was getting ready this morning about us talking about this. And I feel like we're all a little jaded because it's like I get so many shirts
A
and
trillion
get
shirts.
to see so many medals that
Yeah.
like then when
Yeah.
I do events that I can actually do that aren't sports backers events, I'm like, I might be the person that's like opting out of a t-shirt or a medal, which is crazy then when you
Yeah.
think about the true power that all of those items have to
Yeah.
make people. So I think glitter on everything.
Yeah, I think we have to
Yeah.
step outside ourselves a lot of times because we do get so bogged down and I don't know. We have a warehouse with all the excess shirts and excess medals, and so you see it and you're like, do I really need this? But it's fun, and for people
Oh,
who
yeah.
aren't in it and immersed in it, it's super fun. So
Yes.
I love making fun stuff for them.
I do too. I like seeing it. I'm wearing it.
Oh
It's
Mm,
awesome.
love that.
I'm
You,
wearing it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
guys.
It's all
Great work.
Yeah, because usually it's expensive to produce this stuff, so it usually only exists like digitally or in a portfolio or something. So being able to see it
Oh, your art.
walking around,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
This year's marathon, I think, I hope you're proud of it. I
I
thought it
am.
was the
Just
most
I'm really
beautiful.
Just
Yeah.
lead in with the question you
Yeah.
wanted to ask since
That
Dion
was
teed
my
you up.
question. I was gonna ask. I love that you just like made that for me. My question was gonna be, how do y'all feel when you see your merch walking around on the streets?
I love it.
Great.
It's
Yeah,
the best.
it's
It's
yeah,
the
it's-
best.
Yeah.
I get
It's
so
a-
excited, especially when I see like a niche something that I didn't.
Do you ever
Yeah.
say like, I made that, or are you just like,
No,
Nope.
no.
they're wearing that?
Guys, come
Some of this-
on.
no.
We're not. Did you think we would be like calling attention? We're like.
I thought you might. I think Dion.
All right. Standing in line next to somebody, hey, cool shirt. Guess
No,
what?
yeah.
Me.
No, if I see someone that I am like somewhat acquainted with, like if I'm at pickup at school and I see like
Yeah.
another mom and something,
Okay.
if she's an approachable mom, then because I've seen
Right.
there's some not approachable.
Right,
moms.
right.
I will then say, oh, we just put that race on, or I work for sports backers. And I will say people, when they find out what I do, they are like, that's so
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Like that's so cool. Like you get to design. I don't design, but you get to like help with the design, and you get to work on those events, and people are very excited for the job. And I realize, it's really sad that most people
don't like their job.
No, I know. I think about that a lot.
I think about my husband just sitting on his phone all day, and it's
who wants to work in insurance?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's like adjacent to what my husband does, so I love that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, why would you want to be a software developer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm very lucky to not have that problem here. I think about that a lot.
We have a really fun, and it's different every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same in that we have the same events typically,
Yeah.
but every time you have them, they're totally different. Like this year's marathon was so different than last year's marathon.
Yeah.
And I think the new designs help keep it different and fresh and fun. And I think this year's design specifically, I'll be excited to see this one around town because I think it's one of our best ones we've ever done.
I like it because I feel like it's not athletic, where it's like also fashion. I guess.
Yeah, it's funny that you
okay.
say that because I actually considered taking that design and doing some actual merch, and we might need to talk about that for next year's event.
Yeah.
That's
Doing a
Like
merch
a
shirt.
shirt right
Yeah.
because it's a cool shirt, and I think it's representative of Richmond as well and the race. So,
Do you guys like designing merch or finisher items more?
it is event dependent.
Yeah.
Marathon
Like a
allows
theme.
us a lot of inspirational things, like to pull in. River Rock overall allows us a lot of inspiration points. That's a huge thing, and it's funny because like the 10K, which is it's hugely popular. Like we love it. It's a great event, but the course is so straight. You can't play with the course for your
I didn't think about
apparel. It's been the same course pretty much for 25 years. Next year, sign up. 27?
Yeah, November 27th.
Yeah,
sign up.
So it's like there's dogwood trees, there's the architecture of the houses along Monument Avenue, there's the cobblestones, but like we've really exhausted that event. That one is tough, and
some of them are tough.
And that's a tougher one. So I think it just depends on, it's event dependent. I do think marathon is the most fun to design for and to do things for me, because it's where it's our most significant distance. People are, from my point of view, spending money on merchandise, which is great. It's in the winter, so I can offer like jackets and coats, and we can do, or not coats, jackets and sweatshirts and like cozy things that people are willing to spend a little more money on, which then produces greater sales for me and benefits the organization. So we like to make some money on my events.
This was my first marathon, so I don't know.
It's your first marathon?
Designing for
for me.
For you,
but not for the actual
finishing stuff. Yeah,
that was stressful. I wanted it to be good.
We got to start early.
Feedback,
we got to start earlier.
Until it's done, it's which is done now. Up until it was like at the expo or whatever, I was like, people aren't gonna like this or whatever, because I feel like I come a lot from an art background, like I said, so I feel like you'd be putting your own aesthetics and taste into it.
Oh, I mean,
and when they don't like it, it's like, so you just don't like me, huh?
Dion.
I
had one person say one time, tell me, why'd you order so much green? And I've never forgotten it, and I can't get over it. All I see now is all the green, and I'm just like, I'm terrible at my job. I am the worst.
Everybody hates green. And
it's one person. Like
everybody hates me.
I'm gonna get fired if I order all these green shirts.
Wait, pause. I do have this is like out of nowhere. I was just thinking about this because maybe I'm the only person that let it pass my mind. But when I was out there on marathon day, I noticed the lines on the streets. Is that where the design came from? The colorful lines on Broad Street, or was it on Broad Street? Yeah.
That's a Dion question.
There's the blue, red, yellow, and green line.
Yep, that's where it came from.
Where that came from. I saw it. I literally was in the middle.
I don't even know where it is.
The lines behind.
No, I know on the shirt.
Yeah, no, I know on the shirt.
Is this where they got this from?
Yep.
It's on the course.
I thought you meant the red pulse lane, and I was like,
No.
Dion just drew all
He
his
said,
inspiration from
No,
that.
those lines were a point of contention during the design process. I didn't like them.
Really? Well, it's on the. Well,
I know.
Hey, that's what you did it for.
Yeah.
That's I'll have to show you.
I added the black outline.
Right.
Yep.
I didn't add it, but I suggested that addition because I felt like it was very it didn't
Made it stick out.
Yeah.
That's a good part of the partnership too. Is like
yes.
we can all be very
singular minded.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if I literally come to her sometimes and be like, does this look like anything?
Right.
And she'll be like, yeah, try this, do this, and it'll end up being something. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we definitely. It's definitely a collaborative relationship. You know, I'll send him something that I like, and then he'll do something with it, and then I'll, you know.
And the way we're saying something, that's literally how it is. Like
just an element of a design.
Something.
Yeah.
Like I'll send him a t-shirt design from another event that I've like there. So I take inspiration from Instagram. I take inspiration from other events, merchandise. I mean, I definitely search different events and see what they're doing, and then sort of pull different things from that. It's like, okay, well, this city highlighted this feature, so what can we do that's similar in our city? Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So Allison said marathon. What is this was a later question, and then you said something that I'm just going to go rogue. I've got another follow-up asking, but what's your favorite event? Hers is marathon. Yeah, your favorite event to design for.
River Rock. I feel like when I did River Rock this year, I kind of
cool. You did.
Yeah. There's a lot of elements to play with on that one, I feel like.
I also think designing for River City and designing that logo helped inspire you some. Am I overstating? He's like disagreeing.
Talking me up.
No, it just like helped me to have more ownership over it.
Yeah.
And like even with the marathon, like I crafted that. You know what I'm saying? It took a long time.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work, but like it was worth it in the end. So I tried to do the same thing with River City. I'm trying to do the same thing with River Rock. I'm trying to do something going forward to hopefully like continue making good stuff. Because at first, when I first got here, I felt like I was just making stuff that was technically, graphically designed correct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like I'm creating art in a way.
Yeah,
you definitely are.
The shirt this year was definitely art.
Yeah. So next time you decide to talk negatively about our art, this is who you're affected. Okay, you hear that? He does great.
We got great feedback on this year's shirt.
We did.
Other than the shirt colors.
There's always one.
When you're talking thousands of people, we definitely, all of the different tastes and preferences.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads in, you kind of mentioned it, and I was talking to Cameron about this, when you were talking about designing things in your own aesthetic. Like when you all ask me for feedback, obviously like I am one person, but I'm always coming with my own taste preference. And when you were saying the thing about like you're designing, it's in your aesthetic. It can be hard to get outside of your aesthetic. For both of you, like, what is that like? And how does it, you were saying like in school, you were used to getting negative feedback. What does it feel like to get negative feedback when it is like in your aesthetic? How do you deal with that? And then like, how do you get inspiration to bring in like other design elements that are things that you might not necessarily pick yourself?
So I generally deal with negative feedback by ignoring it. Okay?
I love that.
Because quite frankly,
by haters.
I don't have a problem with critique, but most people don't know how to critique. They just know how to insult, and that's not helping me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you say it's ugly, but don't give a solution on how to make it nice.
Right. Yes.
What's the point? Yeah. But in terms of getting like different inspirational stuff, like fashion is inspiration. Molly's another person we ask. Fashion is inspiration. Sometimes we ask Megan Keel, who I don't know what she does creatively. Creatively, yeah. But her feedback is so actionable.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can like.
It happened like years ago. I hold on to things. It's not good. Yeah. I should be more like Dion. No, I have a really hard time taking myself out of it.
Yeah.
Like in terms of design, when I look at a design, I feel very confident in my ability to look at and assess the design and like be able to tell you like spatially, like perspective, like I can look at something and tell, you know, whether it's going to work on a shirt, how it's the equilibrium. I can't explain what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dion knows what I'm saying. I trust my judgment in those things in terms of design. I have to step out of myself when I'm dealing with colors, like because I will pick green. Everything black.
Everything black. Every shirt would be black or white for me.
Yeah, like I have a really I have to step out of myself when I like bring in a lot of color because I don't personally wear a lot of color. I don't wear a lot of print other than, I wear our stuff, but I wear a lot of solids and stripes. And so it's not in my nature to be drawn to bright pattern things. Right. So I do feel like I have to step out of myself for that stuff. And I like getting feedback and critiques for sure. But I'm with Dion. Like if you can't articulate why you don't like it, then you need to go back to the drawing board yourself. Yeah, you're not being helpful. Just saying something is ugly doesn't work. Why is it ugly to you? Right. What is the reason for that? And so hopefully that answered your question.
No, that definitely did. Yeah, bye haters. Get your feedback right. Then you
then you can speak.
So we're going to now start with the question that was supposed to be first, but you guys just have carried this conversation so great. Gosh, you want to be the guest all the time? Okay, loosely explain to us the timeline of creation and curation of all of these designs, like from the beginning of an event to the end. What does it look like as you make finisher items and merch?
I would say annoyingly, it's different for everything. Yeah. We do have to start pretty early because of timelines. We order all of our metals from factories in China. And then the shirts for the big events are also made overseas. So a big event being marathon and 10K. Mm-hmm. Other things are printed locally. So we start for like marathon and 10K months out. Like we are already in the design process for 10K right now. Mm-hmm. In a perfect world, we'd be in the design process for marathon in like April or May. It's a really, it starts early. Mm-hmm. It generally starts for the events with some ideas from the marketing director, Ashley. She's definitely... Or the event director. Yeah. So like for the 10K this year, that's actually being designed out of house. Sometimes we do contract designers to help with some of the design work. We obviously have final approval and go through the revision process with them, but it's a lot to continuously design for these events, especially when it's the same person. It becomes a little repetitive. Mm-hmm. So we go outside, but so for the 10K, I was going to say it's the 25th running of the 10K. Yeah. Registration opens 11/27.
Again, Cyber Monday.
So that's something that the event director Megan Keogh wanted to make sure is going to be featured on the shirt or the medal or the medal. So it's good. I think it's good to kind of brainstorm and like take different elements that are important to other people throughout the organization, because we might miss something if we're just thinking from an aesthetic perspective. Yep. And then going forward from that, it really is, like Dion already talked about, kind of sometimes it'll be just like a rough, like, what do you think of this? Yeah. Here's like 3 different ideas. Which way should we go? And just sort of design, conveison, design,
edit, cut.
Yeah. All with the I work with very, very like firm deadlines because I've got to then make sure the shirts are getting printed. Mm-hmm. And
I like that too, because I'm around a deadline. If you tell me the 31st, I'm not gonna give it to you till maybe the 1st. So,
you like that rush? You like that crunch time? It motivates you?
Yeah, kind of. Because
I'm like
that's a bit of overthinking. Like if I don't have time to overthink, I like that. So yeah,
I'm very aware of the way the marketing team handles deadlines. So when you get a deadline from me, I'm giving myself a cushion.
I think it's a thing. Like if you have the longer amount of time that you have to sit and stare at something, and you're just gonna keep being like, oh, do I actually like this? I'm the same way. I'd rather just wait to work on it. In college, like I would just wait to do it, and it wasn't because I'm like, I don't feel like it, but it's because I know I will literally like go over it a billion times and be like, everything's wrong.
Big procrastinator over
here. That makes sense.
Love the procrastination rush.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't procrastinate, how do you get that high? How do you get that wild rush where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing, hardly made it in that day.
I wrote a 15-page paper overnight, so
that's
fine. Got a C on it.
Right. Now I gotta celebrate because I'm just proud of my deadline making.
Yeah.
So does that cover it? Is there anything?
Yeah, when I start working, it's sketching. They usually don't see that. Maybe
no, I don't really see that.
And then I try to give them options. That doesn't always work. That's everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of sketch, upload, like created in Adobe Illustrator, and then a lot of conversation,
That's the biggest part.
And I think like one of the things I think that, and Dion's mentioned this, and we've talked about critiques and feedback, but it really is a big part of our jobs is just conversation and being able to express. If I don't like something, I'm not gonna just be like, Dion, I don't like that. I mean, I might if I really don't like it, but I will have a reason why I don't like.
Right.
This isn't balanced, or this. These colors feel off. Can we change the colors?
Yeah.
But
that also comes with the relationship.
Sure.
Now that I know what she does, like if she says that's ugly, I can assume. But
if
you do, I can assume why. Based on what I already know about her and her aesthetics and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, and we do. I mean, we do a lot of like typed email feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some in person as well. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also good in this working relationship to know each other, so that because I've been accused of having a bit of a tone at times. But Dion knows me, and so he knows that when I.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you know me. So like even when even when I email you, my tone.
Yeah.
Right.
Is not
just because she puts a period and not an exclamation.
Exactly. I was just.
She's not mad at you.
I was literally just thinking the period, just in the way I talk. Like every sentence ends with a period.
Okay.
I very rarely end a sentence with an exclamation point.
But that's because in real life you're not like okay.
But no, when I'm talking,
you're like okay.
I don't talk with exclamation points in real life.
Right.
So
I have to go back and edit my emails to take out exclamation points to make sure that I don't sound just insane.
I add a lot of exclamation points to my writing because I know how my actual verbal tone is. It is very matter of fact and straightforward.
Read into that more.
100%. Yeah.
So you add, you take away.
Yeah.
I have to take away because I will end every sentence like that because I want people to know that I'm not being ugly or mean or short. I'm just,
Okay.
Has Dion ever gotten a tone with you?
Never.
I knew the answer to that before I asked
okay.
it. Dion is like the last person who could be accused of having a tone.
No, Dion, I don't know, but our relationship really developed very organically. It wasn't like, I'm going to make you be my friend. It was like, we just really, we do work well together.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it started just from like some Zoom calls because we weren't really in the office when he first started.
It started on my first marathon merch build. It was horrible. It was horrible.
And I was like, no. My concern, or not my feeling when I saw what you sent me back was that I have not explained or expressed to this person well enough what we're doing here.
Okay.
And so
what is actually going on?
So we went through it together and we talked through it. And that really, that was when we first really met. So it was very, I remember getting it and definitely being like, I don't think he understands what I'm asking for. So we need to go through this, and I need to make sure that I am explaining it very clearly and very supportively because I didn't want you to get down on yourself. I was really concerned about that.
And then be like, Alison hates me.
No, but I think we were successful in that.
I think so.
I mean, we walked. I don't know how you felt right after it. I felt like really, after the conversation where we reviewed the art.
Like I was gonna get fired.
Yeah, no.
Alison's gonna fire you.
Well, I have no authority. I have zero authority anywhere. But no, but I think that helped. I think it's an important lesson that you have to have like tough conversations sometimes that might, you are going to teeter-totter on hurting someone's feelings because we all, especially with what we do, lead with our feelings because it's art and you being new and us not knowing each other. But it was so important to have that conversation to build the relationship.
Right. And because I set on that till the deadline, where now if I'm not figuring something out, I send it to Alison immediately. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so that definitely helps.
It's all about learning.
Yeah.
This has also kind of got to be a weird place to come in as a designer when then you're designing, like in your typical designing life before this, I bet you weren't thinking about race medals and clothes that runners might want to buy and things like that. It's like, this is definitely an interesting place, I'm sure, with like a learning curve in that respect too.
Yeah, especially medals. Medals, anything is possible. So it's like, what do I do? When you can do everything, you just do nothing.
I know.
So medals are tough. And that little bit of 3D it really becomes sculpture. And it's like, I'm 2D all the way, so that little inch of 3D is so hard to imagine in my mind.
Yeah, I get that. What is the most difficult part? You've touched on it a little bit, I feel like, but what's the most difficult part? It doesn't have to be the same answer for either one of you that people might not realize. Most difficult part of the design merch
that you
process.
want someone to understand. Like, we don't just randomly pick a color. You know what I mean?
Well, color is not unlimited. It's finite. We have options that we have to pick from. So that's definitely a big one.
Let's sit on that for a second. Color
let's stay right here.
I mean, Dion said it perfectly, but I am going to expand on it because color is finite. There aren't that many colors. There aren't that many colors that shirts are made in. Okay. And then within the shirts that are made within these colors, we have to think about price and we have to think about size limitations because not every color shirt is available in every size that we need and that we offer for an event. Yeah. Especially if we're offering youth sizes and adult sizes. That becomes really tricky. Yeah. We also try really hard not to constantly repeat the same colors, believe it or not. I actually have a spreadsheet saved in all my major event folders with all the shirt colors we've used for each shirt we've given out for that event, volunteer shirts, each distance, all that stuff for the last 10 years maybe. So I can see where we're repeating. Our event directors, 2 of them, love a blue shirt. we gotta remain nameless. We gotta steer them away. Their names begin with M. And
that's a lot of people on staff.
That's all our
event directors.
Yeah. If your name begins with M.
M-E. I'm not Molly. I'm not talking about you. So yeah, it is a challenge, and then there's also for the marathon specifically, we do have the luxury of custom dyeing fabric, which is fantastic, except for we're dealing with a factory in China who is sending samples, and it becomes a very difficult process to approve and make sure we get it just right. Full disclosure, I wanted the marathon shirt this year to be a little lighter, more of a cream. It turned out to be a little bit more tan. I think it was successful. I think it looked great on people. I think it displayed the art well.
Yeah, definitely.
But it wasn't perfect. It's not a perfect science. It's not a science at all. So yeah, picking a shirt color is you don't realize it. You don't think about it. But
that's not the answer I thought you guys would have.
Well, that's not. I don't know if that's my answer, but it's up there. For me, I have another one.
I have another one too.
They want y'all to know a lot about this.
This is about me.
What is it?
I recently but started ordering stuff. I hate ordering.
What are you ordering?
Like the tech, like run mailers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. The print stuff.
Yeah, if I order it and then
not just
misspelling or something.
Let's piggyback on this because I was gonna say ordering as well, but for me, it's the quantities of shirts for all.
Yeah, that's anxiety inducing.
For all different races. Yeah. So, like we talked about, we start this process months out. So for the shirts that are being custom made overseas, I'm ordering these shirts long before registration, which now registration doesn't even close ever. Yeah. It's open until race day,
right?
Which is a great luxury that I'm happy that we provide.
Right.
But it makes it literally impossible to figure out how many shirts to order, how many medals to order, how many blankets to order for the marathon, how many it is very, very challenging. So we are using previous year's information, which you would think would be great, except for we had a pandemic. I said I wouldn't bring it up again. We had a little pandemic in 2020, and it really shifted the way the races, people sign up for races, the way how many people do sign up.
Do virtual instead.
Yeah. Currently mailing virtual out. So ordering is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Especially when the price is right there and it's like, if I press this button, that money's gone.
Yeah.
If it's like,
it's not your
and that's on me.
Still, it's on me. Yeah.
That would make me more nervous.
That's another reason he might think he might get fired.
$5,000.
I'd have such anxiety. I'd be like, I'll pay you back.
No, right. I'll pay you back.
I did that one time. I messed up a mailing, and I was like, Andrew, should we already pay them back? He's like, Alison, how many things was it? I was like, I don't know. I was like, it was a couple hundred. He's like, a couple hundred, and they cost like $5 each.
No,
we're not paying back. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So yeah, we make mistakes too.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
All right. Is it time for
Oh,
this or
I
that?
think do you want to do this or that? I think we have
this or that?
one more fast question.
We have a question?
For you. What's your favorite? And then we're gonna run to our this or that, which is our favorite part of the podcast.
Right.
What is your favorite thing that you've ever designed? Do either of you have a favorite thing?
Well, the marathon.
I was gonna say I've asked him this question.
Okay. The marathon shirt and the blanket this year was phenomenal. I also I'm gonna throw in the River Rock shirt.
I was about to say the River Rock shirt.
The River Rock shirt for 2023 was.
Is there an option for us to insert a picture?
Fantastic.
I bet there is.
I'm sure there is. They do that. They do that podcast.
I'm just gonna become a director.
I
know. Those are two really great ones. In terms of merchandise, I don't know. We change it so often.
So much, yeah. I still like the black. Say we run the one you wear.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I love that
one.
Richmond shirt on
it. Yeah, she wore that for a podcast.
Yeah, I did. I wore that for the podcast with Megan. I think I love that one too. I see that one a lot.
I like the one we did this year with the state, and it says Run Richmond, and it's got RVA available online. I like that.
Sportsbackers.org.
Shop
our store.
Shop.sportsbackers.org. I like that one a lot as well. So
it's a lot of cool ones.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's not, which some people might be shocked to hear, there's not a lot out there that I don't like, which is good. Because sometimes you make stuff that you just have to make, and it's
true.
You don't like it. So
that probably sucks more when you're the person designing it. Yeah.
So then if you get bad feedback on it, you're like, hey,
I agree.
Right. I agree.
I don't like it either.
It wasn't me. Okay, cool.
All right. You
time for
can
this
start.
and that.
You can kick it off with Dion. But time for
I was about to say,
this or that.
It's time for this and that. No, the way we did it this time, since there's two of y'all, I have Dion's questions, and then Nan has your questions. So, but we can keep going back and forth.
Right. You can go back and forth?
We love you, so we wanted you on here longer. We didn't want to just ask you one generic thing.
Right.
Plus, we like to
y'all
tailor
have different
this
interests
or that to the people that we're talking to.
Right.
Well, anybody can tailor.
Oh, it's very, I know, way close to curated.
Very curated. Okay, well, I don't know. This is kind of like a overall question for Dion. This or that, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Thanksgiving.
Wow, really?
My family didn't really do Christmas presents.
Well then that makes sense.
And I like to eat.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like to eat.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving too. Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I don't know. Yeah, I just love the holidays.
I love Christmas.
It is a good feeling.
I like the lead up to Christmas almost more than actual Christmas sometimes.
The Christmas spirit.
Season. Yeah, I'm ODing on movies,
I'm a Christmas
books,
girl.
Experiences, all with Christmas.
Back to our job. I feel that way about our job. Like, we were just at the marathon, and I don't know, it's 5:00 and it's all over. But we've been doing this all year. And it's what happened?
Yeah, it's like the day is over.
Kind of the anticipation, and then the actual. Yeah.
And it's just over in a blink almost.
I like the anticipation of things a lot. Yeah. I feel that way with training. When we do half marathon training team, I mean, granted, we can't do a race, but I also don't look for a race to do because I like the training.
Yeah. I like Halloween better than all those holidays, but
she said, "I'm gonna throw my holiday in there." Okay. You want to do one first?
Oh, sure.
I feel like we should
toss it back and forth. Okay, Alison. I would say the four of us are very immersed in pop culture and celebrity things.
It's our job.
But Alison, you have to pick between two loves of your life to start this. You have to pick between Pedro Pascal or Timothy Chalamet.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh, wow. Quick answer.
100%.
This is not what I would have thought, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I would also pick Pedro.
I love Chalamet. I love him. It's very specific, my love for him. Pedro is just like overall.
I agree.
I think if I don't know if I hadn't watched The Last of Us, I would feel the same way.
Okay.
Because I love that character so much. And I also loved him as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones, where I was introduced to him.
When does the second season come out of Last of Us?
I don't know.
I feel like it got messed up with all the strikes.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
But he's an internet daddy. I love him.
He is internet daddy. And I also think that he somehow, if I was going to have one as a friend in real life, seems more approachable than Chalamet.
100%. I'm not talking about Chalamet.
You're not even talking to him.
You're just looking at him from
just
waving.
I love Timmy. He's adorable. And he's so talented.
He was great on SNL, though. We were major chops on that. I felt like I had low expectations, and he did great.
He had already been on there once and done
I know.
great.
I feel like they gave him better stuff this time.
I thought he was really, really good. And Andrew could actually tolerate it, because Andrew does not care for Chalamet. But
he's a polarizing figure.
Yeah.
He is. He really is.
Okay, Dion's number 2 question. Cycling class or weightlifting?
Weightlifting.
Okay.
I do like cycling. That is my preferred cardio, but if I had to choose, you can still get a little cardio.
No cardio.
No. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think you need cardio, but you can still get a little cardio with weightlifting.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I tried one cycling class. That was it for me.
Why?
It hurt really, really.
I don't
bad.
understand why it has to hurt. You do
Everybody
get used to it.
says that.
Oh my Cameron.
Everybody
You
says
do.
that,
You
but
have
that
to get used to
pain
it.
was so unforgettable.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And you get used to
You
it,
do.
and it doesn't hurt. I cycle 4 times a week, and
You go. But you also have it at your house.
well, yeah.
We need to go to Ashley's cycling studio. I was thinking
I
about
wanna
this.
go
We
as
should
well.
take a staff
Mm.
trip sometime to
Yep.
go check out her cycling
I need
studio.
to prepare myself.
She might be able to tell us the tips and tricks.
Yeah, maybe get some. Ashley, our boss, said I should get some cheap cycling shorts with the pads in it.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, it's a little seat. I mean,
Very little
I
shit.
don't-
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you really do get used to
you
it.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love to pose and wear a
It's
bike
good for you.
short, but I'm not
Right, I
really
will
on
wear a bike short.
Yeah.
Not getting on a bike though. It's fine.
All right, I like to give Allison a lot of crap for the foods that she doesn't like, because Allison and I are extremely similar in a lot of everything else that we do and enjoy, and then the food is like one of the only different things, and she doesn't like a lot of things that I love. So she doesn't like either of these things, but you have to pick and you have to eat one.
I have to eat one?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the point.
That's the
Okay,
point.
look at it.
Not just
Okay.
look at it.
Okay.
Sour cream, just a big spoon
Yum.
of sour cream, or mac and cheese.
Wait.
You don't like mac and
Right.
cheese?
No, I don't like mac and cheese
Wow.
because I don't like it.
You haven't had a good mac and cheese.
I just wanted to start a controversy
God.
before Thanksgiving
Oh
as
my
well.
God. We don't.
You like
Look, she's gonna
cheese?
gag.
I am gonna gag. I'm gagging. See, this is where I like. What's making me gag more? For sure, the sour cream. That's disgusting. I'm going mac and cheese. Can there be some sort of bacon in the mac and cheese?
Sure, why
Okay,
not?
But
Yeah.
why don't you? Okay, again, let's sit on this question.
I would never.
Why don't you like mac and cheese?
if
That's
you-
like my
She doesn't
ultimate
like,
favorite.
creamy,
I don't
cheesy
like
things.
a cre-
She's
yeah,
not
I
a
don't-
huge cheese person.
I don't. I like cheese.
No, I know
Like
you do.
throw a good
Yeah,
goat
right.
cheese, feta cheese in my salad, blue cheese in my salad.
Mm.
Okay, all right.
She doesn't want to eat a Kraft single.
I don't. Oh God.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
what
can
she
kinda
said,
figure
mm.
it
That's
out.
what you should have done. You should have done sour
I still
cream or
might.
Kraft
I
singles.
still
'Cause
might.
I would. I
Wait,
don't know what
but
I would
that's
choose.
no.
I don't
You
know what I
shouldn't
would
be
choose.
using Kraft singles on your mac and cheese.
No, I understand that. I don't. I'm not a big like the
What
cherry.
about a baked mac and cheese?
I also.
Still no. Okay.
I need like a texture. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's like it's just noodles and there's no texture. So yes,
A
a
bread
bread,
like
a
a
breadcrumb
breadcrumb.
topping might
Okay.
help.
Or like a
But
roux
bacon,
and a
you
mac and
want
that.
cheese.
I don't like. See, Andrew. My Andrew is my husband.
I think they put it together.
Andrew is a mac and cheese purist and refuses to do a mac and cheese with any kind of meat. He's like, that's not mac and cheese. He wants a pure
Oh, yeah.
mac and cheese. I don't like cheese like that. I just don't. I had some Havarti dill
Wow.
for a snack yesterday.
Okay.
I like some cheeses, but I don't want like a creamy like
You don't want good mac and cheese. We
No,
got it.
That's
don't
fine.
like
Next.
I just don't like it.
I'm not gonna let
It's
you
okay.
slander this food anymore.
Right,
This
I'm
is done.
sorry.
Cut off.
It's okay. All right, Dion, last question. Away from that. Last question for Dion. Video games or social media scrolling in your spare time?
Video games.
Video games?
Easily.
What if watching videos on Twitch is considered social media? You still would
I've
rather
actually
play?
stopped watching Twitch.
Wow.
Not for no reason, but
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just have.
I was about to say, have you
what
been
Twitch
leaning
is.
into your
Your kids
reading more?
definitely do. They
My
like
kids
video
know what
games.
Twitch is?
Yeah,
Your
it's like
kids, yeah.
it's like video game.
Your
You
kids.
basically
Yeah, I
watch
was gonna
other
say,
people play.
Yeah.
because you said they don't like being outside
They
and
don't.
playing.
They don't like being outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
They prefer,
Inside.
Yeah, exactly. My point.
they prefer
Your kids
to
are
be
Dion.
watching TV or looking. They would prefer their iPads, but we limit that. So they're just
Love
playing,
that for
they're
them.
playing their video games.
I understand.
They're playing Terraria right now. They're very into Terraria.
Okay. How old are they?
9 and 7.
I think that's a hard game.
they're very into it.
Advanced.
Wow.
Apparently, my
Advanced
7-year-old
kids.
is now the best Mario Kart driver in the house. He beats his dad on
That's
the reg.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, this is how we're gonna end the podcast, and it's gonna get controversial.
Here it
or
is.
hard. Allison might cry.
Yeah. This is
Um,
the harder question than the last one.
Yeah, you have to pick between. You can only have one of these things for the rest of your life,
Mm.
and the other one has to go away.
Mm.
You either can have perfectly manicured fingernails or lipstick?
I knew what you were going to ask.
Or lipstick.
I knew where
Both
this
of
was
these
going.
things are essential to the essence of Alison.
Yeah.
I can't paint my nails at all, any color.
No,
Like,
no.
They just have to be naked.
Like a clear coat?
Naked.
No.
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 Unmanicured.
Yeah.
Can I get a manicure, like just a buff?
Sure. But no polish.
Like you can
ever.
clip them.
I mean, you don't have to have like terrible hands.
Yeah,
You
it
just
doesn't have to
can't
have dirt
paint.
under your nails, but
Yeah.
no paint, no nothing.
Or never any lipstick.
Can I do gloss?
Chapstick.
Can I do
Chapstick
lip?
only.
Can I do? Ooh,
Chapstick.
I'm gonna have to take lipstick.
So
it's
no.
painting her. She's looking at her hands. If you're
Yeah.
not watching on video, she's upset. Look how beautiful they are. She kills it. They're always beautiful. She has her own little hand light that she
Go
can
ahead
put
and throw it in
for
the
gel
trash.
manicures. Yeah. throw it
You
away.
picked lipstick.
But you know what? We don't live in that world, so you can have both. But
Yeah,
we just wanted
you
to
can-
know which
right.
one you would have.
Because I'm like, if I
that
could get
answers
around it, I would do like a lip liner with a gloss.
No,
Because that's not
That's
lipstick.
That's
imitation.
I mean, yeah.
If you
It'd have to be a
just
chapstick.
chapstick.
Or
No,
in
I gotta
charge.
have
So
lipstick.
your lips don't
Lipstick
crack.
is so much
but
more.
It
You don't need any of it if you hydrate properly.
Right.
But it's true. It's true. Whenever my lips,
This is a beauty podcast.
whenever your lips
Right.
get chapped, check your hydration, because if you hydrate yourself, your lips will not get chapped.
I thought about that because every time
It's
that
true.
I have extreme chapped lips is an expo for
Yeah.
us of some sort, and it's
Oh,
like you're like,
yeah.
when was
'Cause
my
you're not
last droplet
drinking.
of water?
Yeah.
That's why,
It doesn't happen.
that's why I bring the giant jug for the expos, because otherwise I will not drink enough water.
Yeah.
Got to get my gallon.
That
Kristen
water and
style
that
jug.
lipstick.
Yeah.
Just
It helps.
okay.
Well, guys,
Water.
for your lips.
Water for
This is
your
the last day on this
lips.
podcast.
Water for your lips.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We love having you every week. And if you did listen on Actual Thursday, happy Thanksgiving. And we hope you have mac and cheese with texture, but it's also creamy. So
And-
we hope you enjoyed all your food. And we'll see you next Thursday. Thanks to Alison and Dion for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome.
I said you're welcome.
Bye. You're welcome.